Yes, guys, in today's video, you will learn how to go from 18 to 10% body fat in 8 weeks. Now, who am I? My name's Hoysan JR, and I help men get into elite level condition 10% body fat via body recomposition, losing fat and building muscle tissue. So this is how I talk about my clients, the process, how we did this. So the takeaway from this video, you will learn like a pro, like myself, how to do this so you can do it yourself. So the first thing you're going to want to do is, before you find out the tactics, the training, the nutrition plan, the cardio routine, none of that matters if you don't make the mental change. Like in life, the strongest weapon you have is your mindset, because life, God forbid, touch wood, can take away how much money you have, your girlfriend, your wife, your friends, your materialistic, the cars, your clothes. Life can take away all that, but what life can't take away is your mindset, how you think. So therefore, this change is not only a physical change, it's an identity shift, because you must realize that where you are right now, the 18% body fat guy, you're not that happy. Let's be honest. You probably do things with less energy because you wake up each day, you see your physique, and you're like, oh, could be better. And then that's your energy. That's your focus. That is, you're not maximizing your potential now. And in life, if you don't know what it feels like to be 10% body fat when you're in the best shape of your life, you are missing out. But like I said, it's the characteristics that upgrades everything in your life. So you need to ask yourself and sit down, why do you actually want to do this? Oh, I want to get in better elite shape so I can be a role model for my kids. So I can get that promotion, that job, so I can feel happier. If I'm happier, I'm gonna wake up and talk to people. Therefore, I'm going to attract what is meant for me. You are what you attract, guys. You are what you do every single day. So therefore, if we can get in elite level shape, you're more likely going to achieve success. So you need to sit down and focus on, okay, what bad habits do I need to get rid of, such as poor sleep. Most of you are just sleeping below 7 hours, guys. Not only that's not setting you up for the next day ahead. You're not serious about life, bro. You need to wake up and be like, no, I'm a go getter. I want to put in the work now. That's a tree through physique foundation. The discipline, you need discipline to stick to a diet. You need discipline to go to the gym when you're not feeling like it. So the bad vices, such as masturbation, why the fuck are you masturbating, bro? It goes to show you have a lack of mental discipline. You can't control your own hands. So the easiest way to fix these bad habits is to act like the 2.0 version that's already in shape. What does he do? What's your role model in the next 10 years? What does he do? And then therefore you have to do those things that he does every single day to get to the end goal. Like with my coaching business, I'm 22, and there's a lot of people that are more ahead of me, 10 years ahead, and they're doing way better. But it's because they putting in the work, and I realize I can get to that level or even better. I just got to do what the guy that has the business, yeah, all the success. He has a certain task every day, and he does it every day, guys. So therefore, if I'm gonna be the 1.0 version that's 20% body fat, that eats shit, stuck in this old relationship, do you really think I'm more likely to get to that 2.0 in that end state that I want to get to? I'm less likely. So you have to act like the same type of urgency of your life, guys. And then when it gets hard, you have to go back to your why. Again, your mindset is your biggest weapon. Why do you want to do this? And if you fall off, it's genuinely because you don't want to get bad. And this is why I'm saying the training and nutrition does not matter. I could give you this all for free. This is why I'm providing for free, because most people in the world just doesn't have it up mentally. And this is why, like, unlike most coaches, and thankfully I met my coach who put me onto this, it starts with a mental shift. So if you're dead serious, get your pen and paper out or your iPhone and set a new routine. Create that new 2.0 routine. What meals you're going to eat. Yeah. Now, hopefully you can realize the importance of mentality And now let's talk about the actual tactics of how we can get the result. So the first thing that people that you're going to do, and when clients come to me, is your setup, because you need to understand how long this is going to take and what is this target scale weight we need to reach to in order to be 10% body fat. Now, what you'll do is you need to take photos of your physique, front, side, and back, in good lighting without flexing. There, you will estimate your body fat percentage, and you're going to compare it using an online physique chart online with body fat percentages. So it'll be like 10, 15, 20, 25%. Now, this guy, I would say he was probably around 18%, because if we get a body fat percentage online, let me show you, such as something like this, again, you want to be harsh. So whatever number you think, let's say you guys might think he's 16, you want to add 2% to that number. So, or you can just use common sense, like he's definitely not 25, he's definitely not 20, but he's definitely not 15. So therefore he's in the range between 15 to 20. So this is why I put him at 18% body fat. So you should do the same. Now from there, you're going to get your scale weight, and you're also going to get the amount of calories you're going to find out. So you can use your online calorie calculator online. So let me show you. For example, this is the calorie calculator I got. So this was passed on from my coach. So if you want this, you can do it yourself. But you can literally search online. There's 100 of online calorie calculators. But the main thing is you're going to put in your weight. So he was 77.4 kg. You're putting your body fat percentage. Some online calorie calculators, by the way, don't have body fat percentages. But the main thing is your scale and getting your lean body mass and your maintenance calories. So the main thing is you want to get your lean body mass, and then you will add 10%. Why is your lean body mass important? Well, this will give us this is basically all the muscle in your body stripped from the body fat. So if we add 10% to that number, that will give us a good range of obviously the body fat that we want. So that'll be the target scale weight, lean body mass plus 10% that we want to get to. So therefore you can do the maths. You just subtract your starting scale weight from that target scale weight that you just got. Your RMR, 1740, you never want to go below this. Now there's some people out here in the dieting world where they'll just go below this number and to lose fat, and that will work for about 2-3 weeks. But you see, when you are dieting for more than 8 weeks plus, you are going to run out of steam. Like fat loss with body recomposition is like baking a cake. If you turn the dial too early on, like the heat, you'll just burn it. So therefore you want to be very conservative, so you can actually get to 10% body fat without crash dieting. That's my opinion on it, and this is why I'll talk about more in depth why I give my clients high carb, high calories, because remember, this is a body recomposition, so we want to keep food as high as long as possible to support gym flow performance. Now the next thing is the activity multiplier, which is very important. So you can do the maths. If you are a constructionist, you're very active. If you're desk bound, then you're pretty lightly active. So you put in that number, and that will give your maintenance calories. So his maintenance calories is around 2,700. And remember when I said you want to be keeping food as high as long as possible, the deficit can be a 0.2, maybe 0.3. So you can subtract 200 calories, and then you'll get that calorie goal. Now macros, rough rule of thumb, protein, you also want to get your lean body mass times that by 2.4, because people give themselves too much protein, whereas it's not that efficient. When you have lots of body fat, you don't need that protein. Yeah, the only protein you need is for how much muscle you guys have. So you just get your lean body mass times that by 2.4. Fats can be 20% of this overall calorie goal, and then carbohydrates for the rest. Now we want to keep a high carb diet, guys. Why? Because we want to support gym flow performance. The biggest reason you will build muscle or maintain your muscle tissue is because of how you train, via intensity, via stressing your muscle through mechanical tension. So therefore, if we want to improve our gym flow performance, that is that's accelerated through enough food due to a high amount of carbohydrates. Carbohydrates is your main source of energy, also known as glycogen, guys. And this is why we view this approach, rather than on the flip side, if you went below your arm halfway through your diet, you're gonna feel like shit. Yeah, and then you're more likely going to lose your muscle, guys. Now, hopefully you understand why we renew calories. In terms of the meal plan, let me show you the actual diet plan we've run and what type of foods you could actually include into your diet. Now, this is a lot of meals, but it's mainly whole foods. Whole foods will give you the right amount of nutrients and basically the energy you need so you can efficiently do this body recomposition successfully. So the first meal that I gave my clients and I diet myself is oats with berries that you put on top of it and with eggs. So this is a very slow digesting carbohydrate meal as well as high protein with high fats, as eggs is a fatty source of protein. So therefore, because it's slowly digesting, it's going to digest a lot slower. And oats is high in fiber. Fiber aids fullness and digestion, so it will slow digestion as well. Berries high in lots of is very nutrient dense, so you can get low calories. It's low in calories, but you get a lot of it. So it's a high volume, high satiating meal. This is the power of real foods. This is why I don't really like giving clients eggs, but I mean toast with butter, because toast is a fast digesting carbohydrate, not gonna keep you as full, guys. Like you want to eat more of it. Like, you know, when you've had good toast with butter, you want to eat more of it. Yeah, it's very palatable. So this is why if we give you real whole foods that will fill you for longer, you're more likely to stick to the diet. Again, with eggs, you get a good source of protein, healthy in cholesterol, and high in fat as well. So good for your hormones. Now, lunch and dinner is very similar. Chicken, rice, mixed vegetables. Now, the main thing is palatability is low. Most of you will fit different foods, hitting your macros, which will work. But if you're doing that every single day, especially if you're busy, you're gonna get caught out in terms of one day you'll come home, you're busy, you're tired, and you'll just eat whatever, or you'll just order a takeaway or eat whatever that's in the fridge, and or you'll forget to track it. And then if you forget to track it, you may be out of your weekly deficit. But if you're sticking to a meal plan, the meal's already prepped, which is a lot easier because it's simple foods, you're more likely to just be adherent to the whole thing. Do you guys understand the type of flow that I'm trying to pronounce to you? You know? So pre-workout, very easy: fruit, apple, banana, berries, or if you have an hour before slow digesting carbohydrates, remember you can have oats with jam. Remember, fruit is faster digesting carbohydrates. Post-workout, protein shake. Dinner, basically the same, but we sort rice with potatoes. Why? Potatoes give a little bit more volume, so it's big on your plate and digest a little bit slower as well. And then your last meal of the day is 0% fat. You'll get berries, dark chocolate to really manage that cravings, because it's still boring and plain, but it's got a bit of taste. You've got the dark chocolate for that. And you'll get, for me, high in protein, helps keeps you nice and full. So that's the diet that you could run. There's also different foods, which I'll show you. For example, the most recommended whole foods can be, you can look at protein sources like turkey breast is very good. You could swap egg whites with normal eggs. Also, tuna is very nice. Turkey mince as well. Fatty sauces, so it comes at a bit more calories, so it looks smaller on the plate. Just so you guys know, it's 5% beef mince, salmon, steak, etc. And obviously carbohydrates. So what you want to do is just pick your favorite foods, eat the same meals every day. Now, in terms of hydration, you ideally want 3 to 4 liters of water a day. Most of the time, when you're still hungry, is because you're maybe dehydrated. Yeah, lots of people get confused with thirstiness, with hunger. Just drink more water, or you can have Diet Cokes or more caffeine, which will help distract you and eliminate that hunger. Caffeine is very, very good. Obviously, no milk, no sugar, plain coffee, black coffee. The stronger, the better. It's going to keep you, one, obviously alert. Obviously, don't have this before you go to bed, in it. Help keep you adherent. In terms of sources, this is where most people just mess up. They think, oh, I don't need to track them. No, track them. In terms of, you can have a low hot sauce, but no ketchup, guys, no mayo. You want to keep it as simple as possible, because why? The main thing is palatability. We don't want triggers to eat more of it. It's like if guess what, you've come off the breakup, yeah, you're doing no contact for 2-3 weeks, and she's, you still have her on social media. like you're more likely to break that non-contact and then you're back to square one, bro. So think of these like why I'm giving you a basic diet to help reduce these triggers. Now, cardio, you're gonna program yourself 10K steps every day, low impact, low in fatigue, so you can do it every day. Cardio, you want to program yourself 20 minutes on non-impact machines, aiming for a heart rate of 120 to 130 beats per minute. So this is why I said you don't need fancy cardio routines, just get your heart rate 120 to 130. That's the optimal rate of burning fat, guys, because it's going to be daily cardio, so 7 days of the week. So you want to do something that you can do every day. So low impact machines, a few good options is incline treadmill, a bike urge, or a cross trainer. And then as you get fitter, so in the back end and the dieting phase, the last 2 weeks to get the last layer of body fat off, you can progress it to a stairmaster. It's a bit more vigorous, so you're gonna burn more calories in a short amount of time, and also it will elevate the heart rate a lot faster. Now, when and how to make changes. So you need to be aiming to lose about 0.7 to 1 kg. With Jack, the client, we actually lost about 8 kilos. Yeah, we lost about 8.4 kilos or so. I'll show you on the app actually. So we did this in 8 weeks because we lost 1 kg per week. So you can do the same. So therefore, you need to be tracking everything. Track your morning weight every day in the morning. Don't do this in the afternoon or in the gym. When you step on the scales, you want to do this just with your boxers on. Don't wear clothes, that's weight. And just standardize. Like the more things you can keep control, it's like a lab experiment, the more data you will have to base if it's working or not in terms of decisions. Like data will drive decisions, guys. Treat your body recomposition like a lab experiment. You want to keep everything all controlled. So you'll get a weekly average logging your morning weight. So if you're meeting that rate, 0.7 to 1 kg, keep everything the same. But when the weight loss starts to dip, so below 0.5, you can make a change. Now, one change at a time, and I always advise increasing cardio first. Why? Because we want to keep food as high as long as possible to support gym flow performance. Now, once you increase cardio by 10 minutes, you're doing 30 minutes on the incline treadmill every day. Look at that weekly change. Did you drop? If you dropped, keep everything the same. If you didn't, make another change. You probably could increase cardio again until you're doing 40 minutes, and then the time that you have to make another change when the weight loss plateaus, you could pull from food. And when you pull from food, you're going to pull it no more than 200 calories in the forms of fats. Why? Because fats holds the most amount of calories per gram. 9 calories per gram compared to compared to carbohydrates and protein, which is 6. So therefore, if we are again, we want to eat as much as possible, and so we can eat that volume. Fats doesn't have a lot of volume. 30 grams of dark chocolate, if you've had it, it's nothing, and you'll soon realize it's very small. So those are the changes you're going to do week on week, one change at a time, till you get to the end goal at 10% body fat. Now, let's talk about training. I'm going to show you a form clip that I did myself and how to train properly if we want to build or retain muscle tissue during this body recomp. So he was on a 4-day split, and the main thing you want to prioritize is tempo, range of motion / arm pathway, and intensity. Now, tempo, all that means is controlling the way down. Like you're controlling the weight's not controlling you. So you want ideally 3 seconds on the way down, 1 second pause at the bottom, 2 seconds on the way up, 1 second pause at the bottom, at the top. If you manage this, this will help us isolate and feel and target the working muscle. How you build muscle is through mechanical tension, stretching, and contracting the muscle fibers apart. You know, bringing the origin and insertion, so where the muscle starts and where does it end, together. So if we're stretching and contracting that muscle, we want to isolate that tissue. So think of this, and I learned this from my coach, that if if you're a football player and you're going through the little aisle with your hand out, touching people, when you touch the people's hands like that when you're walking, if you're doing this really fast, you're gonna get less surface area contact in it. It's not gonna be as par minute. But if you do it nice and slowly, you're more likely going to hit each hand, like confidently. So it's the same thing with tempo. If you're lifting the weight, feeling that muscle, you're giving your chance the biggest ability to really stretch and grow. So that's why it's emphasized to pause 1 second at the bottom. Feel the movement. Don't ego lift, guys. I'm telling you. Range of motion arm pathway is literally going deep enough. Again, how your muscles grow is through mechanical tension, stretching the actual muscle. So therefore, we need to go deep enough. Otherwise, you're just gonna cheat the games. And then intensity is you need to be training hard, basically to failure. So have 1 rep in reserve or go straight out. So you should be hitting the top end of the range, or the last rep. How to measure this on the way up should take about 3 seconds. So let me show you a quick form video. Now, a bit of anatomy which helps you understand how to actually apply tempo, range of motion. Again, this is a chest exercise, flat press. So therefore, we are working our mid to low chest, and the muscle, how it starts, your chest will insert on the sternum, midline with body onto your humerus, right here, upper arm. So therefore, origin insertion. Bring your origin to your insertion, or insertion to origin. Where does the muscle start? Where does it end? So therefore, I'm not thinking of pressing up. I'm thinking of just converging my arm across my upper arm to my humerus. My chest stays extended, shoulders rolled into the pad, and I'm just focusing on tempo. Pause at the bottom, feel that stretch, pause at the top. And this is what I'm saying, you don't really need to go slow on the way down, just control it. Again, you see how I pause at the bottom? I'm really stretching the chest apart. And then I'm just using my arms rather than pressing up, converging to the midline of my body. And this is why machines is also a good option when you're doing chest movements, because it's already set up. And then intensity, the last rep should take about 3 to 5 seconds. So it'll get slower as you go up, which is a good indicator. Now, the last thing that I'll talk about before I wrap this video, and I will show you actually the app and the reverse diet, because we, at the end of the cut, we got to 69 kg, but we maintained for about 5 weeks, we maintained 69 kg and we gave him more food. So the last week he was eating around 3,000 calories, guys. Let me show you that now, actually. So as you can see, the data doesn't lie, boys. So again, start 77.4, we got him down to about 69 kg. Weekly average, you can see the changes we made week on week. That took 8 weeks, and then we did a 6-week reverse diet. As you can see, scale weight was held 68.9. Even he dropped a bit of weight, 67 to 69, eating 3,000 calories. So this is how you will hold the condition week on week. So again, you know when I say you have to log your money weight, these are the things you need to be doing every single day. Keep the standard high, boys. Same with the training. You log that 4-day split. But as like I said with the first, before the setup, it starts with characteristics, your mental change. So you need to first of all have belief. You know, have belief that you're already 10% body fat. You've already done it. So how do you increase this confidence, the confidence muscle? Well, like in the gym, to build muscle, you have to go in the gym, break it, lift heavier. So it's the same with confidence, the confidence muscle. You have to submit evidence each day. And that's through the daily tasks, such as sleeping 7 to 9 hours, sticking to the meals, hitting the steps, hitting the cardio, going to the gym, etc., etc. You know, the more you do this and the longer you do it, for example, you're into week 2 of the diet, now into week 3 of the diet, you become more confident and the scale starts to drop. You start to look a little bit leaner. Muscles start to pop up. You hold more eye contact with that girl now. Yeah, everything in your life increases in confidence because you are actually becoming the man that you said you was going to be. Which is another key thing I should have inputted: integrity, self-respect. Most men, most women, most people don't have self-respect. This is why they don't get nothing done and they stay in the same position. Scariest position, stay in the same position as you was last year, boys. I'm telling you that. The next step characteristic is discipline. Like, who the fuck are you in the dark when nobody's watching? When nobody's watching, yeah? Who are you? What do you do? What type of man are you? Are you a hustler, or are you gonna cry in bed? Yeah, feel sorry for yourself. Feel sorry for the girl that left you. Get the work done. No one cares. No one cares. Get the work done. Yeah, most of you want fancy diet plans. The yogurt bowl is too plain. I want to change my exercise because I saw a bigger guy in the gym. She said a miss about me. Shut the fuck up. Put in the work. Life doesn't care about your feelings. Yeah, your goals does not care about your feelings. So put in the work, boy, bro. And this is what I'm saying with Physique Foundation. If you want a better life, you have to have discipline to actually get the physique. Most people are out of shape because they have a lack of self-respect, belief, discipline, resiliency, boys. Yeah? That's the beautiful thing about physique transformations, which I love. And then the last thing is resiliency. Like, it's not going to last forever, guys. You know? Again, this is my, I think, 8th YouTube video that I've said that I'm going to post every single day. I've been getting less than 100 views, boys. Yeah, you know? But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's about what I'm going to, how am I going to respond to that. I'm just putting in the work every single day because I know for enough time, I'm going to blow up. This may be 3, 5, 10, 15 years from now, but I will upload every YouTube video every single day till death do me apart, you know? And you improve resiliency through physique transformation. I have a good level of resiliency because I'm in top elite shape. Yeah, I am that guy. I achieve resiliency through just being in shape. That process. So this is why I emphasize, you get into elite level shape, you're going to achieve the life that you're happy. This was the end result, 10% body fat, veins, bigger muscle, everything's a lot sick. So look, if you want me to do this for you, link in this description, you can book a call and then we can set you up ASAP.